Okay, we're back. Going to be working on another one of our painted hanging lanterns. Clean the bottle, get it going. This time we're working with Monstera, our Swiss cheese plant, I think, is another name for it. You'll recognize it, a big one with these big, giant leaves. They have like holes and stuff in them. Very pretty, very popular. But yeah, we're gonna go through and just kind of draw these almost heart shapes. Then you do a bit of dip in the end. And here I'm gonna add a few other. I think I got most of the stages of like the flower slash stamen. But you've got this. You can do it. Just follow any leaves. Leaves are fairly easy. You can figure them out. Okay, that's about it for this time. I'll be back in just a moment. Wait, hold on. Outside the zip in here. This is the other flower. I paint this a little different. You'll get when we get there. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back for a little bit of talk. Here I'm adding in the stems, like you see. It's kind of, simple lines, just help fill it out. And then what I'm going to do here, see, the leaves I'm painting, the ones I chose, have more of these, like, gapped out or separated sections, supposed to just big holes in them. Yeah, I go through and I draw all those in, and then we'll come back in a minute. And I cut out with scalpel or exacto, just fine razor blade, whatever you have, something very sharp. Also, make sure the letting is very good and dry. That help a lot. That will help a lot too. But yeah, that's it. You sit here a minute. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, this is close up, like I said earlier. Very, very sharp blade helps. The stuff, even when dry, is still a little, liquid. I'm not gooey, not really gooey, but you get stretchy and have a stretch to it. So you just take your time. But yeah, you'll go through it. I cut them all out. You go through two of these is what you do. Also, a minute ago, I pulled out colors. I know I wanted good bits of greens. I've got blues and the purple and some other colors, but mostly. It's a lot of greens. There's big green flowers. I think I decided to leave a lot of empty spaces too on this one. But you'll do it however you want. Maybe you want to go through and figure out like gradients for sky or something. That's what I kind of thought about. Like, no, let's leave it clear. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. We'll talk some more. All right, now what I'm doing is, we're going to start color. So I start with my lightest green, lime green or something. It's spring green, that's it. I'm trying to go ahead and go through and, give it highlights. These are parts where, it'll be lighter when the sun hits it. You could maybe try like dappling effect. I don't know. I'm using very simple, like the, what's art man, Mr. With his drawing. He does, like when he does his comics. He's very light. Also, I'm trying to get the middle, vein stem. I don't know the middle part of the leaf, like a bit of highlight on it. I think that helps. And then I go through, with our root beer brown, and I just kind of fill in the stems as best as possible. Then it takes me a few. You see me messing with iPad Pro 12.5 on side. It's I'm trying to figure out the right colors. Yeah, here I am with the green. Fill that in, and then I go through and add dots of like this darker green. I think the middle one is Kelly green, and the other one's Ivy green, if I remember right. Yeah, most of the colors you really have here are going to be on the stages of the flower and everything. You're going here with a bit of amber, add some highlights to the stem. You get this. This all make a lot of sense. And then with the darker green, I go in and add the various veins and variations to the leaves and everything. So it gives it more color and something to look at. This one is a lot of these are a bit complicated. It's really up to you. You can keep it simple as you want. I just tend to go a little bit overboard sometimes with the colors. Yeah, here we go. Showing how I'm going to go in and fill in like the bottom line, like doing shadows, like when it's on the bottom or when it's going under something, add a bit. Also helps fill in holes. You can see there with the seed pod or the finished thing. The part after it's flower when it's about to become fruit or whatever, where I did the dots. You're not going in at a bit of them, just kind of filling in colors where I like it. Okay, you watch me do this. Oh yeah, little blue. This blue is a good way to add a bit of shadow to white. I think I add a bit more of the bright white and to make it more opaque. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. You keep well. I keep saying that and stuff keeps showing up. So this is just me filling in the main parts of the leaves. Okay, now I'll be back in 2 minutes. Alright, what I'm doing now is I saw some like holes and gaps and things that I missed in different places with the landing. So I'm just gonna go through quick and fix it. So you keep eye out, you eventually find it all. And now we're just kind of bulk filling in the green. I think I go over like everything. Like just the whole thing and let the other ones work as under layer. So there we go. Alright. Just a little thing I want to point out. Okay, I'll be back soon. Okay. What I'm doing now, one, I'm filling in some bits, but also I drew in like some creatures in the background. I don't really remember what they are. I don't feel like looking it up. Like I looked up creatures that would be in the part of the world that is, and I found the ones random. And then I had this kind of cat thing. I'm also going back over the flower. I added the bright white to make it like once again more opaque. And then usual popping holes, and also cleaning off some bits of the letting that I didn't get out yet. There you see. And after this, it's just kind of adding highlights and detail, like everything else with it. You've got this. You can do it, I have faith in you. So, alright, well, I think that maybe it's for a minute. I'll be back in a second and, we talk about the next thing I do that I think is important. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to work on making the hanger for the lantern and the candle and everything. On some of these bottles, I've got the little jars. They don't, for the yogurt, they don't fit in. So I just started wrapping around the candle. And actually, I've reached the point now where I think that maybe this should be the best way. The big thing to look at is judging how far it'll fit. The thing where I first saw a way to really secure them in with wire also. So I keep making the top to point because it's supposed to stop in the neck of the bottle. But that doesn't really matter because you'll end up using split ring. And that's what stops it from, sliding out or going too high up. So I kind of quit doing that too. It's evolved as we go. This is one I think the first ones I did where I needed to wrap the electric motif. And just kind of make cradle to wrap it in. It's not you figure these out. Like me, as you go along and you do more, you'll get better at it. I do suggest doing this. They are fun. I really have enjoyed doing it. There we go. We just wrap it up and do split ring. I think I have one more thing to talk about. It's you get to watch the whole thing where I just kind of sit here and wait and think, man, maybe I should have stopped. voice and just come back 5 seconds later, but I did like some kind of crazy bars. The biggest things to remember though when you are, if you're doing either way, is you want to make sure you support, like keep it in there without flopping around, and then give it like little cradle to sit on so it doesn't necessarily slide out. Because even if you keep it and get it good and tight, it will eventually loosen up. And then to make it, hit where I want it to, I add a bit of decorative twirl or kinks or turns in it. And there we go, that's about it. I do go back over, I realize this paint isn't waterproof. When I get to that video, we'll talk about it more, but I bought this stuff, this from Mod Podge. It's called dishwasher. It's a clear coat you put on it that makes it dishwasher. Top shelves should be able to handle most rain. I've also been using some spray-on clear coat. But the best stuff for it I found is this dull coat, which has its own look and works on some stuff. But when I want these leaves nice and shiny, this works better. Because I couldn't find a matte version or flat version of it. But yeah, that's it. You go on, and now here is one early one, so I'm using small brush to make sure I get all details. But now I just use big brush. Also, I think I was trying to avoid glass, but I actually like the way it looks on glass. It gives it a bit of text. But you'll go through and you'll paint this on, let it dry for like an hour or so, and then come back and add another coat, and you'll add a third coat, and then it just needs to dry. I think after like 6 weeks to 2 months, that's when they say it's dishwasher safe. But there you go. Okay, I hope you're making your own. These are fun. You get pretty things to look at. Okay, I'll see you next time. Goodbye.